Can I from there also no issue? Is that from here?
This is more clear.
This is more clear. And host tools allow everyone to view more, share screen more. Easy. Take over.
Sounds very clear.
Yeah, they only said.
Then what's up, bro?
The big next session is happening. It's a marathon this morning. Yeah.
Am I audible to the audience?
Yes, sir.
Yes, James. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
We'll start this sixth online session in a while. Since the other last fifth online session, which we had, just ended just a while back. So we will take at least 2 minutes break within this time and then we will start. Thank you.
One room like that. Could have been? Oh no.
Good morning, everyone who is joining us today in this sixth online section and the second day of this international seminar, Hard on the Edge, Tackling Global Environmental Crisis. Now, in this session here, we have six speakers, and then we're supposed to be ending this whole session within 12:30. So I would like to request all the presenters to kindly restrict your time within how much time we're giving? 10 minutes. Yeah, we'll be giving each speaker 10 minutes time to present their presentations. And so at the very outset, I would like to request all the presenters who are already here joined in to kindly restrict your presentation within that time. So we have with us Kartika Gopi, College of Science, Department of Biology, United Arab Emirates University. He will be presenting integration of remote sensing and field data for mapping mangrove soil organic carbon, a machine learning approach in the Arabian Gulf. So we would like to welcome you, Kartika Gopi, to this second day, sixth online session here. We're glad to have you here. You will be the first to present your paper here. So the stage is yours.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the wonderful opportunity to present my research over this platform. And it's been really great to see that the climate crisis has been discussed over then different places, and it's been considered that the not only the region specific matters are being discussed. So thank you so much. Without further ado, I will just share my screen for the presentation. Is my screen which is been viewed by everyone? Can you see my screen over here?
It's visible, yes.
Okay. I just put it into the full mode. Yeah. Okay, so we know that we have a lot of conventional method of finding the carbon pools over the geographic land. So what with our studies in UA University, we are trying to integrate it with the remote sensing approach and the machine learning approach, so that this can surrogate the more kind of hardship, can avoid the hardship over the sampling effort as well as the cost, and can create a kind of a continuous monitoring task, which is very necessary at this stage. So myself, Kartika, I am a PhD at a UA University in the Ecology and Environment Department. My mentor is Dr. Taufik CC, and along with Dr. Aaron. So what's the importance of mangrove over here is that we know that mangroves are tropical plants. Then they have this extreme ability of sequestering the carbon when compared to the terrestrial plants. They have a 4 times more sequestration capacity in this case of carbon capture. But they are limited only to a certain region because they only prefer the warm tropical climate. And you can see here, we have a lot of ecosystem services provided by the mangroves, especially they have been into the coastal protection, because when there is a extreme events of climate like storm, tsunami, etc., they act like a bridge of saving this, because these are in the coastal zone. Mangroves are, we can see these are only seen in the coastal zones, and this help in the protection of this coastal zone, as well as it help as a nursery to cherish the marine biodiversity, because a lot of the marine or fishes, like they come into this place where they save it as a nursery, or the reproduction area. So the young fingerling of fishes are produced over here, and they are going back to the sea. So there are a lot of uniqueness that mangrove can provide, and that's why the UN have considered it's into it's a UNFCCC effort of protecting the climate and environmental impact. So today's speak, I will just introduce what is the mangroves ecosystem and why they are important, and how in the climate changing scenario we can monitor them. So especially the conservation is very important in this case. We know that a lot of reforestation activities are going over the world to make this ecosystem conserved and persist for a longer time. So for that, we need a strong monitoring aspects that we have to bring with technology and integration with that of the conventional way of committing the conservations. Yeah, so especially in Arabian Gulf, we know that we had a these areas have been like improved very recently because of the oil discovery and its economic booming. There are a lot of pressure over the urban from the urban side towards the coastal, because the coastal side is more developed in this area, and a lot of urban pressure is happening into the coastal environment, as well as they are trying to kind of make it mitigate these effects, and they are trying to restore the mangroves, and a lot of restoration have been happened in this area, which has been successful over the period, and we had a increase of 10 to 20% of mangrove area in this area, in this Arabian Gulf. But the problem is that with the climatic scenario, we are expecting sea level rises, and the SLR, the sea level rise can be from 1 meter to 2 meters. So we can see in the image that these darker black shaded areas could be the areas which can be lost due to the sea level rise. So when we discuss about the carbon pool of mangrove, we have the litter, that is the fallings from the tree itself, and it converted in this biomass has been converted into carbon and other minerals and go to the into the soil, and the plant itself has an above ground biomass. That means the plant which stands above the soil has a above ground biomass, and its roots, everything constitute the below ground biomass. And dead wood also, when the tree falls, this is considered as dead, and it's also considered into the carbon pool. So these are the pillars of the carbon pool in the mangrove ecosystem. So in my study, what I have taken is that my study was into the Kalba mangroves of UAE. You can see the map of United Arab Emirates here. The location 2, that is the towards the Gulf of Oman. It's the Kalba mangroves, and here you can see the bigger image and satellitic image crossing with that. So this is the lagoon system of mangroves over here. And what I have done is that I have taken a categorization of different plots over there, because I was wondering whether there is a change in the soil organic carbon pool between the zones, different zones, because when the mangrove is towards the inner, the soil seems to be very dark, and it have more of organic humic content. When towards the water plot, it's kind of changing its color. So that's the question which we have started to explore and address. So we took the soil samples from the mangrove ecosystem, and we have partitioned into 0 to 20 centimeter depth from the top soil to the down, and 20 to 40 centimeter towards the down. We did the lab analysis, and we have for this we have first made the soil weight constant by removing all the soil moisture content, and with the loss on ignition method we first found the soil organic matter, and from the where we got the soil organic matter, we have taken some samples for the elemental analysis and found the how much carbon we have in this soil. So this is to estimate the actual estimation of the carbon that is evident in that 0 to 20 centimeter layer and 20 to 40 centimeter layer. So the results what we have got is that interesting. You can see here the different kinds of plots, where is the inner plots that are towards the center of the mangroves. They are more carbon rich because they are trapped very nicely into the soil, and they get then deposited for not only one 10 or 20 years, they're getting into millennium of carbon storage over there. And towards the water splash area and the landward edge, because landward edge we always have the intensity from the human interpretation, so that's always have a little less than compared to the inner ones. And then water plots are having kind of dynamic nature, because the tide comes and goes in, so the so organic carbons that is kept in the water plots is like it's always changing because of the tides. So why the mangroves are specific and different from in UAE than that rest of the world is that we have a very high salinity over there. There's a lot of studies done over here. We have a temperature here is really high because in summer it can goes up to 45 to 50 degrees, and it's extremely high temperature. And here the speciality is that the mangroves here there is only one species, that is Avicennia marina. Whereas when we compare to the Indian mangroves like mangroves in Sundarban and all, there are a lot of different kinds of species of mangroves. But here in UAE, we have only one kind, that is Avicennia marina. And they are all dwarf. You can see in the picture, they are very small here. And why this happens is that all these plants, like they exist near in the limit of a tolerance. And when we compare here this organic carbon content, here the below carbon is towards the downward side. This is a previous study done in the same area where it showed that when comparing to the rest of the world, like Indo-Pacific and Mexican mangroves, there is over a kind of a lower stock in the UAE because they exist in the tolerance limit and they are dwarf. And so that's why we made a idea that here we have to give a region specific monitoring task so that we can create a monitoring task over the years, so we can ensure the healthiness of the mangrove and help them exist throughout these coming years. So when we checked with the remote sensed vegetation indexes like NDVI and leaf area index, then enhanced vegetative index. So these are retrieved from the Sentinel-2 images, which is freely available, and we developed a Google Earth Engine code and we for the specific region, and we have retrieved these vegetative index through the formulas which have been already been established, and we found that the soil organic carbon is not having a direct relationship because it doesn't shows any kind of direct relationship with that of the vegetative index. So they have a very weak correlation. So when we have a very weak correlation, it's not ideal to go with the normal statistical plan. So we conducted with a machine learning platform, which is the random forest regression method, which can capture the weak relations as well. So these are the vegetative index I have explained. So the basic principle is that when we have the vegetation over an area, this is a very well-known studies, and it gives the a reflection
Gopi, if you could, if you could kindly try to wind it up within 2 minutes time. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, sure. It's almost ending. I'm just discussing the results. So, when we did the RF modeling, so the random forest modeling, it's like we find an elephant, how an elephant is with different parts, like with blind man's touching the elephant in different sides. So it's something similar way of approaching this method, because we have training set, we have data. We split it into 70% and 20% for the validation of the data. So we break down into different trees, and we get the relate the vegetative index with that of the soil organic carbon, and finds that what is the best way of relating it with the vegetative index. So we can disregard of the non-linear relation. We will get a good relationship with that of the soil organic carbon. So this is the actual with predicted values of the soil organic carbon, and we got the R-square value, that is 80%, which is said to be a very good value for the prediction models. And the mean absolute error was only 3.9 gram per kilogram of the soil organic carbon. So what we have finally understood is that the GNDV, the greenness normalized differentiation vegetative index, and the normalized differentiation water index, and the land surface temperatures were the most important vegetative indices retrieved from the Sentinel-2 satellite image, which is most in the region specific scenario. They are well good for explaining the soil organic carbon. So we can use these indexes in further studies, and we can use this for the monitoring tasks, like how the soil is changing over the time. So what I need to conclude is here that we know that soil organic carbon, they can store a large amount of, they lock the carbon into the soil. But when it is disturbed, or when it is when there is an urban infrastructure happening, these soil is pulled out and it gets exposed to the oxygen, and there is microbial activity, and the carbon which is stored for the millennia will go into the atmosphere, and it makes it's like we cannot reverse it with the human effort. Even if we restore the lot of mangroves, we cannot make them lock again back within a human scale time, because these are carbon have been kept into the soil with the millennium effort, and with single restoration activity we cannot do anything. So that for that we need a kind of monitoring task and proper conservation efforts moving forward, so that make sure these specific valuable ecosystem is preserved. So that's all from my side, and thank you so much for giving me opportunity to present my results and my findings in my PhD. And the floor is open for discussion. If you have anything to further discuss, let me know.
Okay, thank you, Kartika. Well, since we are, having this constraint of time here, so we will take this Q&A later. If you could kindly stay on, Kartika, okay? We will take
Yeah, sure.
these
Thank
questions
you.
if there's any from the audience later on, and then we will pull
Okay,
it together
I'll
and then
stop.
have it thrown. Yes, yes.
Okay, I'll stop
Thank you very
sharing
much,
my
Kartika.
screen
Yes.
here. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Kartika. Yes. Now, we have a second presenter, Dr. Gitima Talukdar, Assistant Professor, Department of Political Science, MNC Balika Mahavidyalaya, Nalbari. She'll be presenting a paper on Hargila Army, Bridging Women's Empowerment and Environmental Conservation of Assam. If Dr. Gitima is already here, would like to invite her to present a paper. Are you there, Dr. Gitima? Okay, if Dr. Gitima is not here right now, I would like to invite Professor Neha Sharma. I'm not too sure who is going to present here, but Professor Neha Sharma, are you here? All right, okay. If they join later, of course, we can.
Am I audible? Here also.
Okay, I sincere apology because we have this technical glitch right now, so we had gone blank for some time here. Anyway, welcome back again to this section. Okay, I would like to give this time to Priyanshu Chakrabarti, if he's here, to kindly present the paper. Priyanshu Chakrabarti. Yeah, yes, Priyanshu Chakrabarti. Could you please unmute yourself? Please unmute yourself. Yeah, could you please unmute yourself, Priyanshu?
Yes, recording.
Yeah, it's done.
Good morning. So my name is Priyanshu and I am presenting a joint paper with Binesh Safi. So we are post-graduation students from Assam University, and the topic of our presentation is India's role in promoting regional cooperation for sustainable development goals in South Asian regions. So, the South Asians holds one of the largest geographical entities with a diverse region of the Asian continent representing unique characteristics and significant status of regional and sub-regional dynamics. The region is optimized with the presence of mainly the 8 countries. These are, as we all know, about the Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka. The region is considered as one of the world's fastest growing regions in the terms of GDP and a population, witnessing several correspondence dimensions and possibilities of development since the last 2 decades. Although the region currently experiencing multiple several challenges, claims with the destitution and food insecurities to infrastructure and investments and environmental degradations, which often boost with the presence of socio-economic inequalities. The Sustainable Development Goals adopted by the United Nations in 2015 focus on implementing its goals by 2030. And basically, the idea of the sustainability is not an alien to India, and hence the commitment towards the sustainable goals is central to the country's own development trajectory, as sustainability is historically ingrained in India's ethos. The nation tries to retain its transformation by reincarnation of its foreign policy and developmental orientation, attempting for collective growth and resilience in South Asian regions to the region's autonomy. So moving towards the objective of our study, the paper studies tries to understand the India's role in promoting regional cooperation for achieving sustainable development goals and to explore India's engagement with regional sustainability initiatives in South Asia. The methodology portion, if I say, is to, deals with the qualitative studies, disruptive method, and the secondary sources. Uh, the sustainable development goals in South Asia, as the climate change has brought a great concern for the growing problem of the environment and its prospects of resources, right? So the region is distinct with the terms. If we say the Maldives recognized as a small island developing state, Bangladesh as a least developing country, and Afghanistan, Bhutan, Nepal are the landlocked least developing countries. So these are the factors of which are very essential, and the Sustainable Development Goals is very much crucial for the development of the region. Uh, then moving towards the India's role in promoting regional cooperation for achieving sustainable development goals in South Asia. If we see the India's institutional wise engagement in South Asia, we will found that the South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation, that is the SARC, the presence of the several segments within the association has the SARC Development Fund. Which has a financial wise financial mechanisms to promote the regional cooperation, and it has also ensured with the as the India hosts the SARC disaster management center plays a significant role in the presence of disaster management, its preparedness and actions of response effectively. The instances, if we see in with the SARC, would be the in during the time as India has invested during the time with the Bangladesh after the cyclone in 2007, and then again in Operation Devi Shakti, India has launched to evacuation the Indians from Afghanistan, which is also relating with the humanitarian aid and financial status towards the SARC nation. India also hosted SARC Asia, South Asian satellite, right, has emerged as a significant feature of the international cooperation. Also, the BIMSTEC has a significant role as the region has comprehensive free trade agreement ensuring seamless trade with the member countries with reduction of the tariffs. And as India is the largest and the most technologically advanced nation, so it has been progressed by providing technical assistance, which is also related towards the sustainability goals, and ensured its commitment of agriculture research practices, which achieving the goals of the United Nations sustainability goals, as the BIMSTEC has also carried towards the maritime security in the Bay of Bengal region. The Bangladesh, Bhutan, Nepal, India, that is the BBIN, has also initiative as a sub-regional framework of countries in the Eastern geography. And it is to be mentioned if we say that the BBIN Motor Vehicles Agreement, which was signed in 2015, initiated by the India's goals towards the foreign policy and regional cooperations with a similar goal in relation towards the engagement in the region focused on the cross-border transportations, right? And as we live in Northeast India, so one more thing I would like to add that the anticipation is that the main cities of the Northeast, such as Guwahati, Shillong, and Agartala, would turn into as an economic hub, the spending ripple effects to other parts of the region. The two most important roads, according to the BBIN MVA, that is transportations towards the Northeast Indian region, would are mostly likely to concern with the Kolkata, Dhaka, Sylhet, Tabadil, Dauki, and Shillong, Guwahati. And secondly would be the Agartala, Arokha, Dhaka, and Kolkata, as I have mentioned in the paper. So the next it's dealing with the India's leadership in the key areas of the sustainability goals. I have mentioned some of the sustainable development goals and relate with the India's engagement as the here we can see the no poverty and hunger. It's related with the India's developments towards the SARC development fund for focusing on the poverty alleviation as well as the SARC food bank, which has introduced by the India with the policies changes, bring with the unified market for essential staples and other food items, right? So the South Asian food and the nutrition security has also been initiated. If you see the health and education, we are all aware of the India's engagement towards the vaccine diplomacy during the COVID-19 period, and also the as the India has the South Asian University, so it has engaged the Education Corporation and Skill India program into it. If we see the conservation and the environmental resources within the in the South Asian region, we find that it has engaged multiple engagement with the countries, promoting afforestation projects with other South Asian countries. This includes such as in for the forest Sundarbans, requiring cooperation with India, Bangladesh, and the third deserts with the Pakistan, halt desertification and conserve the fauna. Right. So strengthening the regional partnerships goals, that is the sustainability development goals in here it is the 17. It determines with the mainly focused towards the regional partnerships as India has engagement in the SARC as well as the BIMSTEC and BBI, and so by the regional cooperation or the bilateral cooperation, India has engagements towards the development of the sustainability goals in its region. So moving towards the next, it deals with the India's engagement towards the regional sustainability. So here it's the bilateral initiatives I have compound in the slide, which determines of the regional cooperation. So basically, India, Afghanistan, if we see the bilateral relation and determines with the sustainability is the construction of the several dams, roads, and connectivity, ensuring the humanitarian efforts. And even after the crisis in Afghanistan, that is in the 2020, after the initiatives taken by after the formation of the government by the Taliban, right? India has also given multiple engaged with multiple determinations towards the medical assistance and all in Afghanistan, which ensures their sustainability. Similarly, as I mentioned about the Bangladesh and India, Bhutan, which ensured about the hydroelectric power and the energy and the climate change, relating with the assurance towards the renewable energy. The India and Maldives has also engaged as to mention, I would say that India being the first responder during the COVID-19 pandemic and even participate in several assistance and programs in instability in the region. In the Maldives, free trade agreement has also initiated the economic growth within the region, right? So India, Pakistan, although with Pakistan, I would say that although it has a lack of, much initiative has not been taken in the engagement with the Pakistan. Only few initiatives would be related towards the sustainability goals. These were the water energy or the renewable energy, climate changes, and all dealing with the humanitarian and education efforts as the Pakistan's gives, as the India gives Pakistan's scholarships to their students and all. And I have mentioned about the Indus Water Treaty and the Gurdwara Kartarpur Sahib in Pakistan, relating with the people to people exchange, right? So India Sri Lanka is signified with the free trade agreement since 2000, and they have joined their hands the two rehabilitations of certain digital infrastructure that supports and manage itself towards the sustainability in greater prospects. The engagements towards here I have mentioned, we have mentioned here, deals with the Paris Peace Agreement and its implications towards the South Asia, right? As we know, the seed of the Paris Peace Agreement was shown in 17 conference of the parties. So the India has laid a strong groundwork to stand up for the greater global cooperation on the climate change. So India has positioned with a strong determination by pressing with the segments of climate justice, right? The engagements provide with the Paris Peace Agreement ensure with exploring energy solutions in the regions of regional frameworks like the BIMSTEC energy, grid hydropower projects, and neighboring countries. And disaster management of the SARC would also be related with this cooperation. The India and United Nations development programs, I mean the UNDP, as India has been a rising power within the nation, also a global power, I would say, as a founding member of the United Nations, has also emphasizes in the partnerships towards the UNDP for ensuring sustainable development policies, basically in the national and international relation. India's United Nations Development Partnership Fund is also another practical manifestation of the climate change, which has sustainable developments in the spirit of South-South cooperation. The support of UNDP has also grown in the multiple sectors, like in the SARC and the BIMSTEC initiatives, sustainability and all. So the International Solar Alliance, as the India's one of the most ambitious global initiative, which has potential for adaptation in renewable energy and sustainability. The South Asian regions were the focus of cooperation in certain dimensions, as the ISA helps countries with insufficient access to energy by giving them a voice of the international platform to cooperate collaborative efforts and share ideas, and to also mitigate with the challenges towards the technological gaps and create partnership across the globes, right? Its initiative has been considered as one of the advanced initiative notions by the India. And also, ISA has engaged with India's initiative for the solar microgrids recently, and decentralized solar alliance solution to bridge the gap among the South Asian regions. The coalition for next year here, it is the coalition for the disaster resilience infrastructure, right? So it enhanced to promote the resilient infrastructure systems with climate change impacts. The region of South Asia is one of the prone areas, as we mentioned above. The leadership of the India in CDRI holds a significant step for achieving the sustainability goals. The India launched in 2019, that is the CDRI, and also the infrastructural Resilience Accelerator Fund supported by the country helps South Asian nations basically towards the construction of the connectivity and the urban development. It has also, to mention, we can say that India's engagement with the National Disaster Response Force, that is the NDRF, explored the potential of India's strong determination in the region, ensuring sustainability development goals in South Asia. And we can relate it with the Global South advocacy, as the Global South advocacy has been initiated by the India. As we can see, the India is also a member of G20. So as been has hosted the G20 during the time, it has been the voice of Global South, which includes African nations also. Now, India maintains a stand for intentionally towards the development of the Global South, which relate with the low carbon production and energy been emphasizes towards the development of the Global South regions. The ambiguity indicates the possibilities of including all the countries in the South Asia. The country has also taken, India has also taken significant steps mitigating greenhouse gases, promote renewable energy, and strengthening resilience of the climate impacts. India actively participates in global climate negotiations and initiatives. Right. So in this one process, we have also moving engaged towards the challenges in promoting the India's role in sustainability development goals in South Asia. If we see the challenges, we find that basically the prominent challenge would be the political and diplomatic tensions. So, into relation with the political and diplomatic tensions is basically the challenges of the political conflicts of India and Pakistan. Is also is been the geographical factors, is been the this hampers with the strategic growth in multiple dimensions in South Asia, right? As the both the countries have engaged with the SARC, but we have the practical geographical factors challenges, and also initiative taken by the China in recent years, and the changes of the motives of the neighboring countries can also be factor towards the India's promoting role in South Asia, right? So bilateral disputes, yes, India has the bilateral disputes with certain with the neighboring countries. If we see Bangladesh, we have the river sharing and regional security, right? Serious problem of the immigration has been concerned with the Bangladesh. If we see with the Nepal, we have the border problems presently with the Nepal in certain factors. With the Sri Lanka, we have the water sharing and the fishing the problem. So mainly the structure nature of the organization is also found as a challenges because of the engagement with the SARC and the BIMSTEC has not engaged in active status in to mitigate the challenges and ensure the integration with the South Asian nations, which is also to be productive in limited spares. The challenges towards the economic disparities and integrations and relating with the connectivity and the rising migrations is also the serious motive of the concern. Dealing with the climate change and the rising sea levels, these are the serious problems which are to be mitigated with the India's role in sustainability. The environmental issues which carries towards the disaster management and water sharing is river conflicts, and also suppose as the Testa river conflicts we have presence and the Indus water conflicts leads to a slow progress. The economic disparities, integration, limited connectivity, and rising migration issues from the Bangladesh, Nepal, and other South Asian region is also a serious problem for India. For the recommendations, we have initiated some of the essentials and possible necessities that India should encourage is basically strengthening the regional institution and mechanisms, as in the presence of the SARC, BPIN, and BIMSTEC particularly, arranging dynamic possibilities discussions with sustainability achievements and its effectiveness mechanisms to build trust and mutual growth as mitigating the emerging challenges, flourishing the founding principle of Indian foreign policy. Right. The secondly, it would be the regional sustainable infrastructural development. The key indicators like the clean energy, education, poverty eradication, renewable energy, infrastructural development initiatives, and regional enhancement should be articulate and focus for the developments with the potential of optimistic opportunities. The projects initiatives, as we have engaged with the BBIN and the northeastern region, should also focus more, as these are the areas which are need to be focused. Because of the slow progress, we cannot make our presence of sustainability goals engagements towards the northeastern region and regional cooperation in South Asia. The leadership and expertise on climate conservation, as the one is aware that India is the emerging power and has expertise, has the technological advantages in the South Asian region. So basis on the leadership and the expertise on the climate conservations, the expansion of the international solar alliance was a great opportunity for India. So the India should also focus to ensure its presence more and make necessary arrangements into a clean energy transition. India should keep its commitment to renewable energy, low carbon economy, investments on energy efficiency, and as I mentioned about to engage with the northeastern part would be a suitable enhancement with the economic integration on regional cooperation, the public health collaboration. And to mention about the has India has engaged successfully with during the COVID-19 pandemic, the state has been able of capable of serving an effective role in implementation of the vaccine diplomacy. India should engage its role in sustainability in terms of both health and education sectors. In this one, the productivity with the digital transportation, the would be a necessary investments. As being a regional capable power, India should ensure its productivity with the digital transformations, the presence of the high-tech quality economy, prosperity in South Asia. Should India should engage in a possible beyond potential and the possible engagements beyond the borders and engage a digital medium with members of SARC. So the India's engagements with the United Nations Development Fund to finance the digital literacy initiatives has also been a technological based sustainable solutions. So if we see, to conclude, here I would mention that the South Asian regions has the one of the most important geographical location in the world, which ensures the need of sustainable development. The challenges of the region has focused on perspective of India, where it promotes capabilities of regional cooperation and achieves sustainability. So the success of the cooperations deals with the determination and strategic steps that would ensure the growth of country and its prospects in the region, keeping attributes to the potential of achieving sustainability for a better future. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Piangsu. Just switch it off. Mute. Well, stay on, Piangsu, because we will be taking some questions from the participants here. If Kartika is still here, are you
Yes,
still
I'm
there,
here.
Kartika?
Yes, I'm here, sir.
Okay. Yes, there is a question actually directed to you. I think if you can see that, can you see that in the chat box?
Yeah, I can read it aloud for everyone. What are the key limitation of current remote sensing approach in mangrove conservation planning? It's a really good
Yes.
question. Thank you, Janaster, for asking me this one. So, what the current right now, the main thing is the spatial resolution that we face. So, when we come to the freely available data, especially we have the Sentinel-2 satellite image and Landsat image, which is freely available. And in country wise, there are also, like we have the ISRO organization in India, they provide the satellite images for, especially for the research institutes. So the main constraints is when I speak about my region where I did my study in United Arab Emirates, is that the resolution of the satellite image. So we need a higher resolution. When we go for higher resolution, there will be payment for from private organization. We can get only satellite images after the giving certain amount of money for that one. So that's the main limitation in that case. So when we do it for a research purpose, or when we create a monitoring task, there will be a source where we can get high resolution image at a lower cost. And now we have the drone technologies, which is much more efficient and much more like cost effective in this case. So we can use that also. And another one is that how far we do the ground truthing. That's also important, because this remote sensing images, we get it from as a secondary part of the sensing the vegetation itself. So we need to make it ground truth. We need to go to the field and make sure that the points where we retrieve the data is related with that of the ground values. So that if, for example, if I take the soil organic carbon, I get the GPS coordinate and I get the values from there, and then I correlate it with the satellite image. So that's why we can make the estimation, or we can make the monitoring task more efficient and more kind of accurate in that case. So that's the another limitation. So we need a more efficiency on the ground truthing itself. So that's another point. And the third one is that we have the that like a gap in the temporal gaps. Like if we have the images from, like we have to look into the historic image, and as well as we have to look into the futuristic data, like with that of the atmospheric circulation models, and of course like the ocean circulation model, especially for the mangroves. Ocean circulation models are more important for the sea level rise connection and all. So that's also need to be addressed in the case of temporal gaps in the thing. So these three things are that what I feel like from my study, which I involved in. I think this is the one. Yeah, I think I addressed the question. If anything else, let me know. You are on mute. Jim, Dr. Jim,
Yes.
I think you're on
I'm
mute.
sorry. Yes. Thank you, Katika. Please stay on for some time. If there are some questions that popped out, we will address it. Direct it to you again. Now, there's another question which has been directed to Priyangshu. Priyangshu, if you're still there.
Yes, sir.
Yes, if you're still there, check if you could see in your chat box, there is one question that has been directed to you.
Yeah. So, to me, if I say the biggest challenges relating towards the implementation and achieving these sustainability goals in South Asian nations would be firstly, if I say political and bureaucratic reactivism, because if I say because of the slow decision making and excessive regulatory hurdlers, delay policy implementations as SARC and BIMSTEC are there, and we have initiatives towards the BBI and MVA agreement and in the Northeast Indian regions, but it has a slow progress, and there is a necessary of the implementations of such policies. Also, the financial and economic constraints, that is the financial aids which are receiving by India from the United Nations Development Fund, or which are been providing towards the BIMSTEC nations engagements towards the sustainability development goals in South Asian nations are pretty low. So I would say that lack of funding in the governments, as the government struggle with the budget deficits and all, would be the also challenges. And also the infrastructural and technological advancements, as I mentioned, that technological and infrastructure is a prime source to which the weak infrastructure and the poor transportations would lead to a challenge for the sustainability growth in the South Asian regions, as they are engaging as the least development countries in the regions. And also the initiatives taken by India as well as the other South Asian nations towards the climate change is also a matter of concern. So I hope that I have given my answer, and anything else I would be also cooperative.
Okay, thank you, Priyangshu. I hope it addresses the question that has been put about you. If there are some more doubts, queries, or some comments that you have to make, I would like to invite the post it or unmute yourself and address it to the.
Priyanshu, myself, Dr. Bansha here.
Yes, sir.
First of all, I must congratulate you and Binesh Safi for presenting a wonderful paper for postgraduate student to be able to do such a study. It's impressive.
Thank you so much, sir.
I must
Thank
say all the best in your future endeavors. That's all I want to say to
Yes,
you.
sir.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, there seem to be no more question that has been put here in the chat box, or okay. So we come to the end of this online technical second day. I would like to, on behalf of the college, the organizing committee, and also from the college itself, I would like to sincerely express my gratitude and thankfulness in appreciation to our paper presenters, Ms. Kartika Gopi, and also Priyangshu Chakraborty, and other members who are there in the papers. Thank you all very much for presenting your papers. And so I would also like to remind you all to kindly submit the full paper. That there are team members here which are there in contact with you, so that we can have these things done in a proper way. So this is my request for the paper presenters to kindly submit your full papers so that we can have it published at the earliest. Thank you once again from the college, from the organizing team. And I would also like to express my thankfulness to all the participants here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.